It was almost midnight when Ethan Parker finished his last delivery of the night. The streets were quiet. The rain had just started falling, and the yellow streetlights reflected across the empty road. Ethan was tired. 12 hours of deliveries, and barely enough money to pay rent. He started his motorcycle and slowly drove through the silent suburban street. Then, suddenly, something on the road caught his eye. A black object lying in the middle of the wet asphalt. Ethan slowed down, stopped his bike, and walked toward it. It was a wallet, a thick one. He picked it up and stood under the streetlight. Rain kept falling as he slowly opened it. Inside were several credit cards, an ID card, and a stack of cash. A lot of cash. Ethan's eyes widened. There had to be at least $3,000 inside. For a moment, the street became completely silent. Ethan stared at the money. $3,000. That was more than he earned in 2 months. He closed the wallet and sat on his motorcycle. His mind was racing. Just that morning, he had received another hospital bill for his mother's treatment. The number on the paper still haunted him. $2,800. Almost the same amount sitting inside this wallet. Ethan looked back at the wallet in his hand. No one saw me pick it up, he thought. The street was empty. No cameras, no people. Just rain and silence. For a moment, the temptation was real. He could keep it. No one would ever know. But then, something else caught his attention. A small photo tucked inside the wallet. It was a picture of a young woman standing beside an older man. They were smiling. Ethan looked closely at the ID card. Robert Carter. And there was also an address printed on a business card. Ethan sighed deeply. He sat there for a long moment, staring at the road. Then he made a decision. The next morning, Ethan rode his motorcycle across town to the address on the card. It was a quiet brick apartment building in a suburban neighborhood. He stood in front of apartment 204, holding the wallet. He knocked on the door. A few seconds later, the door slowly opened. A young woman stood there. Her eyes looked tired, like she hadn't slept. "Hi," Ethan said. "I think I found something that belongs to you." He held up the wallet. The woman's eyes widened instantly. "Oh my God," she whispered. She grabbed the wallet with shaking hands and opened it quickly. Everything was still there. The cash, the cards, nothing was missing. Tears filled her eyes. "You don't understand," she said softly. "That wallet belongs to my dad." Ethan stayed quiet. "He lost it last night while rushing to the hospital," she continued. "My dad had a heart attack." Ethan felt a chill run through his body. All the money inside was for his emergency surgery. For a moment, Ethan couldn't say anything. Just hours ago, he had been sitting alone in the rain, thinking about keeping that same money. Then the woman smiled slightly. "My dad is stable now," she said. "He's still in the hospital, but the surgery worked." Just then, another voice came from inside the apartment. "Emily, who's at the door?" A tall, older man slowly walked into view. Gray hair, glasses. Robert Carter. He looked at Ethan, then at the wallet. Emily quickly explained what had happened. Robert listened quietly. Then he walked forward and shook Ethan's hand firmly. "You could have kept the money," Robert said, "but you didn't." Ethan studied Ethan's face for a moment. Then he asked a simple question. "What do you do for work?" "Food delivery," Ethan replied. Robert nodded slowly. "Well, my company is hiring." Ethan looked surprised. "And I prefer to work with people who pass life's tests." A week later, Ethan walked into a glass office building downtown for his first day of work. A stable job, a real salary, and finally, a chance to pay for his mother's treatment. Sometimes life puts something valuable in your hands, not to test your luck, but to test your character. And the choice you make in that moment can quietly change the rest of your life.